You're going to see this right here on the stream. Another lawsuit will be filed today in the Northwestern University hazing scandal. This one on behalf of John Doe No. 3. This is the latest lawsuit against the school, with the most recent one prior to this being filed yesterday. Offensive lineman Ramon Diaz, who played on the football team from 2005 to 2008, spoke at a press conference yesterday. He alleges the school board of trustees, former head coach Pat Fitzgerald, the former AD and current ACC commissioner Jim Phillips, were all in a position to address the toxic culture, but did nothing, he says, about the subjected hazing, sexual, physical abuse, and along with racial discrimination and other dehumanizing acts.
As a result of the bigotry and racism and emotional abuse I suffered, I attempted to commit suicide by abusing painkillers in 2007. Statements that repeatedly violated my human dignity led to a great deal of psychological suffering. It's really hard to explain in words what my family's had to see me go through for the last 10 years.
And today, as we stated, we learn another suit is coming. Here to help us make sense of it all is Margaret Battersby Black, managing partner of Chicago's Levin and Perconti Law. She represents several plaintiffs already, including today's John Doe No. 3. Counselor, thank you for joining us here on the stream. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
What can you tell us about John Doe No. 3 and his claims? Do they align with what we're hearing over and over again?
Yes. So John Doe 3 was a player at Northwestern for 4 years. He witnessed all of the heinous acts that have been described in the many lawsuits that have been filed. His lawsuit is the 7th lawsuit filed by my firm in the last 8 days. And we actually have also filed another lawsuit for a player, Tom Carnifax. He was one of the 4 players who came forward at a press conference several weeks ago, which brings us to a total of 8 lawsuits filed in 8 days against Northwestern, and more are coming.
Yeah, you've been really on this case since day one, Counselor, digging in, a lot of research, a lot of hours. Can you give me some statistics, something to wrap my head around? What's the universe of potential victims look like here?
Well, I can speak from my own experience in speaking to my clients that we're looking at a minimum of 15 years, going back as far as 2007. And from what I've learned, there are 110 approximately players on the team every year, and about a quarter of those would be incoming freshmen. And by all reports, incoming freshmen, if they weren't actually attacked and hazed, were at least attempted to be attacked and hazed. So if we break that down, we're looking at 25 people every year for 15 years at least, going back from today.
Yeah, literally hundreds. Do the allegations look similar to what we've heard? We know there are football program issues, and now we know there are issues in other programs, baseball, softball, cheerleading, so on and so forth. Are you reaching the tentacles of what you're finding reach there too yet?
Yes, we've definitely been contacted by different players from different programs, spanning more than, frankly, I think people know about at this point. And that investigation is ongoing. With football, obviously, we had a bit of a head start because, as you know, Northwestern did their own 6-month investigation into hazing in the football team. And on the basis of that report, concluded that the allegations that, frankly, that we've made in our lawsuit were consistent with the countless hours of interviews done in their investigation. And President Schill recently gave an interview admitting that hearing those personal accounts and details from his investigators with player after player of these horrible accounts was the driving force behind his decision to fire Pat Fitzgerald. And he said it was based on moral issues. And that investigation also formed the basis for Northwestern's conclusions that there were significant opportunities for the coaching staff to have stopped these practices.
Right. Significant opportunities over years and years. Previously, as you mentioned, the university conducted its own investigation of the hazing allegations. They concluded the coaches weren't, though, necessarily literally aware of what was going on. Now Pat Fitzgerald is fired. He's looking at his own wrongful termination suit. But based off of all the testimony you heard, did the coaches or any higher-ups know what was going on? If yes, is there a culpability of a criminal nature? You're, of course, filing civil cases. It will be in civil court. This is dealing with money. But what say you? Should there be a criminal investigation? Should one at least have been launched by now, potentially, to see if there's culpability?
Sure. Well, as you pointed out, I am a civil attorney, so I stay kind of in my lane in that regard, and I'm not a criminal defense attorney or a prosecutor. But I will say that although Northwestern has done their investigation, we're doing an investigation of our own, and we won't leave any stone unturned. And the beauty of our investigation is that it's being done by attorneys whose only interest is to represent clients who are victims of this cruel culture. And I can tell you, based on the complaints that we have filed and the interviews that I have conducted with tens, if not hundreds of players, there was not only significant opportunities to understand and stop this hazing, the coaches definitely witnessed it, and in some cases were victims themselves.
Remarkable. You're working with civil rights attorney Ben Crump, of course, of note nationally, who said this is undoubtedly the Me Too movement of college athletics. That was his statement in regards to what is happening at Northwestern. Do you see it that way?
I do. And I think, the players who have come forward and stepped up to verify what the investigation that Northwestern did was accurate and frankly probably worse than they knew, are really taking a stand. And they're brave, they're courageous, and they're coming forward and saying, this happened to us, but it doesn't have to happen to you, and it ends here.
After the university really cleared itself in many ways in that first kind of boilerplate investigation, if you want to call it that. I mean, they initially, kind of slapped Coach Fitzgerald on the wrist with a multi-day suspension. It's now enlisting former Attorney General Loretta Lynch for a new internal investigation. Is this window dressing? Is this real? How do you see it?
It's a great question. I mean, there are certainly more people and more programs to investigate, and I assume that Attorney Lynch's investigation is going to be focused on those things not covered by the initial investigation. But unfortunately, I'm not really able to answer that because Northwestern hasn't released that initial investigation, but yet they've already pledged they're going to release Attorney General Lynch's investigation. So one has to wonder if they're really committed to transparency, why haven't they released that initial investigation so that we can wrap our arms around that?
Yeah, when it comes to crisis management, too, which is a whole arm of the communications field, they have been given by many an F, failing grade so far when it's come to open transparency so far early on in this investigation. So is Northwestern, their athletes, it's so stunning to think this could happen 10, 15 years and in this age of social media and not know about it. It's also stunning to think the roadblocks you're going to have to go against because it is a private institution, Big Ten University, but unlike Michigan State University, the U of I, it is a private institution. All that being said, do you feel like or are you still in one universe? But is this a microcosm potentially of what athletes everywhere may deal with, had to have dealt with? Your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think certainly aspects of this is, consistent accounts across multiple programs of really disrespect, being, kind of courted to join the programs, being promised certain things, being given scholarships, and then when they arrive on campus, being really subjected to, mental abuse, physical abuse. Of course, in the football program, that went well beyond the boundaries with the sexual abuse. And, I just can't imagine being an 18-year-old leaving home for the first time, encountering the challenges of a new social hierarchy, academic, and particularly at Northwestern, a very rigorous academic setting, and then being an elite athlete on top of that. That's enough pressure. And then to have to deal with this just odd, sexualized, ritualized hazing, it seems unbearable, and it makes me sad, obviously, as a parent.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's literally the dream becoming a nightmare. Your breaking news today, you've got another lawsuit, John Doe No. 3. Any other news you want to break? More to come?
Yeah, so we have Tom Carnifax, who's another player whose suit was filed as well. So those are the latest two suits, and like I said, there's more to come this week and next week, and probably beyond that as well.
All right. Margaret Battersby, managing partner at Chicago's Levin and Perconti Law. Thank you for recapping things, a new lawsuit today, and we will look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thank you for joining us, Counselor.
Thank you for having me.
You're streaming us on CBS News Chicago.